Hey guys, how you doing? I had some requests to do a signature tutorial, so that's what we're gonna do. Figure I could teach you guys something um, to help you make your own signatures. I mean, me personally, I like to see creativity on the forums and stuff, so let's get to it. The first thing you're gonna need is a render. Um, Basically, for those that don't know, a render is an image that doesn't have the background, just has a clear background. Usually saved as a it's always saved as a PNG file. This is an example of a render. This is also an example of a render. You see the background is all clear and shit. Although this is a pretty shitty render, I did not render it, but I am going to use it to show you guys how to make a signature tutorial. Hopefully we can make it good. So first thing you want to do is drag it over to your workspace. Don't worry about resizing it. There's a lot of detail right here that we're gonna use. But first, let's change the background color of our bottom layer to 434343. Gives us this puke gray color we will call baby shit. First thing you want to do, duplicate your render a couple times. 2, 3, whatever. I mean, it's always better to have more. Hide the bottom one. It's gonna be our backup. First thing you want to do is hide the other layers because we're going to work primarily with this one right now. We're going to go up to filter gallery, and we're going to choose ocean ripple with the ripple size of about 8 and a ripple magnitude of about 11. Once you're done, hit OK. Now you can also make that black and white if you want. By holding Control Shift U, I think. Yeah, this also opens up my fucking bullshit. So you can also do it by something here, but I don't think it's color range. Well, doesn't matter because I'm not gonna do it. Then you want to take another layer below that one, unhide it, and move it over like this. Move this over, put them side by side. You take your other hidden layer and move it to the top. Center it, take your smudge tool. Maybe not this big, let's drop it down to about 38. And we're going to smudge it around. Make sure that it covers all of it, so it looks real shitty. At the moment, don't look good. Now we're going to grab our hidden layer, bring it all the way up to the top, and resize it using Control T. There you go. Looks like a mean motherfucker. Boom. Alright. So that right there, I would say, is is a pretty decent signature, yeah? But that's just the beginning. So, first thing we want to do now, my cigarette went out, is take a gradient map and put it on black and white. We're going to drop that down to soft light. Turn the opacity on it down to 49. Like that. That gives the highlights more pop. Let you see clearly where the light source is at. And from the way it looks now, the light source is going to be coming from over his shoulder, behind him. So, we'll make another gradient layer and come back. And this time we're going to take this violet and orange. We're going to just go through until we find soft light or overlay, whatever looks better. And we're going to also turn that one down. To about 49. Just remember, you could type this in. You don't have to drag it like I do. Once that's done, we're going to grab our C4D, which is what this is. I'm going to drag it into our workspace down below our render. And we're going to switch this down to either linear dodge, overlay, or soft light. So whatever one you find that works the best. And if it's still too much, obviously you can either turn down the opacity. We just want to give this some shape, or you can turn down the fill. Basically what turning down the fill does is it just takes some of that. Something we wanted to do. Turn down the fill and you get some of this, basically the same effect. So we kept it on soft light. We turned the fill down to about 65, 64, wherever it starts to look workable. Go up to our new layer and grab a soft brush with the hardness turned on 0. And we're going to take that, add our light source. Make sure don't shit all over your render. Also, don't worry about this being too bright, because we could either turn down the fill or we could just put it on just go through our blending options, find one that's soft, not too soft, and we just turn down the opacity like that. And then we're going to make a new layer, and we're going to grab black this time. I'm going to burn the edges, bring it in on our focal point. This will also allow us to cover up some of the excess white over here. And again, if it gets too dark, you can just go through and switch to blending mode. or turn down the fill or the opacity. Now for me, I liked it the way it was, so I'm just going to stay at normal. And we'll make a new layer and go to image, apply image. And we're going to go to filter, blur, motion blur, keep the angle at 0 and the distance 10 pixels. Now everything looks like shit. I'm going to take our eraser tool, turn it down to about 100. Let's do 75. And we're going to erase over our render, which is our focal point. Get some of that good detail in. And obviously his weapon on the back is a little thin, so we'll just turn down the brush to do that. And also some of the finer details on this layer. Now let's erase some of the background as well. There's a reason for this. Basically anything that you think would look good, feel free to go through and erase. Erase some of this blur. Once you're happy with what you have erased, make a new layer, go image, apply image, go to filter, sharpen, sharpen. Now, that right there looks pretty good, but let's go to our adjustment. Is this adjustment layers? Yeah. I'm going to go to brightness and contrast. Let's turn up the brightness to about 18 to 20, whatever looks best for you. Let's turn up the contrast as well. To about 40. Make a new layer. Again, image, apply image. And we'll go to blending. You can play with any of these. I use stroke. Now this stroke inside, excuse me, around 1 pixel. But we're going to keep gradient. We're just going to change the colors. So just click here, here, take a mid-tone. That seems pretty good. I'm going to take one of these grays, and then we'll add another one and slap some black in there. Now if it doesn't look like it sits right, doesn't look like it sits right, you just click here and you can just drag it. You see what I'm saying? You drag the gold over here and the gray over there, or basically you got control whatever way you want it to sit. That adds a little pop, but when we go to bevel emboss, inner bevel, smooth, you turn down the depth, turn up the size, turn down the depth. That looks pretty good. Soften it if necessary. Shouldn't really have a problem. And And then we're going to go into our inner glow. You just play with what color you want to use. I'm going to use one of these darker bronzy colors. Turn up the opacity. Let's turn down the range. Now you have the option to keep it at screen. When you turn down the size a little bit, it will bring it like that. But if you put it on normal, it gives it more of a solid. It's up to you. I'll save it on screen. Turn the opacity about 50. Another important thing about making signatures is your font. Because you don't want your font to not match your signature. You know, if I use I grab the text tool, obviously you're gonna need something lighter. Yes. Just look around so you got something. And you just drop your text. Make sure it's the appropriate size for the signature. You don't want it too big. And we're going to name this tutorial. Alright, so obviously that is a little too small. So you can just double click on the layer, highlight it, and turn it up to like 30. Now it fits, but it looks a little bland. So you could also go to the blending layers on this. You could add some bevel. Turn up the depth and the size. Play with that a little bit. You get a little 3D gradient overlay. That's good. We go to our stroke, and it's also pretty good. And basically that's all she wrote. I hope the tutorial helped you. And if not, well, I apologize. I smoked before I did this. So, just gonna have to deal with it.